Hey guys, my name is Zach, and this is Magic the Gallery, a channel all about the wonderful art of the Magic the Gathering card game. In this video, I will be ranking the black art from Core Set 2021. Let's get started. First up is Alchemist's Gift, and normally I like to start the first one with just starting in the middle at B, but this one's actually really cool, so I'm going to put this in A. And what I like about this one is I really like the wispy green effect that you have coming from their hand. I think that's a really cool effect. I really like that. It's got a very natural feel to it, and it's like almost like green magic energy, even though it's a black card, and I actually think that's really cool. Next up is Archfiend's Vessel. This one looks really cool as well. I really like the angle that's being used in this shot here, which makes the candles really tall in the foreground. You've got the figure in the midground with a sacrificial dagger, and then this demon that they're the vessel of. It's the Archfiend's Vessel in the background. So this one, we're starting off with great art here. I'm also going to put this in A. This is the wrong card. Where is Archfiend's Vessel? Or did I somehow not? There we go. I really like this card. I'm going to put this in front of the other one. Bad Deal. Now this one to me is just pretty boring. So we're going to put this down in... We're actually going to go to D already. Bit of the extremes here at the moment. But yeah, in my mind it's just boring. There's nothing going on. It's just, yeah, handshake with blood. Like, get more creative, please. Wow, I feel mean now. Blood Glutton. This one's cool. So you've got, I think this is what the vampires look like on Zendikar, if I'm not mistaken. But the creature, the dinosaur-esque creature that they're standing over, that's really nicely done. And they're in the back, like they're out of focus in the background and then also in crisp focus in the foreground. And the vampire's standing over their neck. That's really cool. I'm going to put this one in B. Caged Zombie. This one's, I think, bit of a middle ground. The zombie's done really nicely, and again, the angle, it's not your standard flat angle that'll make it boring. It keeps it interesting. They're reaching through the bars. They're also like mashing their face a little bit against the bars. So yeah, keen on that one. Yeah, we'll go B for this one as well. Carrion Grub. This is a chunky boy. Yeah, pretty cool. I'd like a little bit more clarity on what he's actually consuming. I mean, it's a carrion grub, so you would expect it's part of a corpse, but it looks almost metallic. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be putting this one... I like this one as well. This one can go in B. Crypt Lurker. This one's also pretty cool. I get it's a horror creature, but I get tree folk vibes from the way it looks as well. I like the menacing aspect. The multiple green eyes glowing is really nice. The archway framing them is quite nice as well, and just the parts that come into the light. That's cool. I'm going to put this one... We're going to go B for this one as well. Deathbloom Thallid. This one's quite interesting. I've never really understood the Thallid anatomy, but I suppose you're not really supposed to. It is like a fungus creature after all. It's not exactly going to look like it has a normal anatomy. But I always love the vibrant colours of these creatures. And the background in this is really nice as well. I really like the swampy trees. And the spores coming off the Thallid are really cool as well. So, yeah, that's good. We're going to chuck this one in B as well. Demonic Embrace. This one's cool, but I really like the really bright white light coming from this crevasse. I think that's really interesting to have on a black card as well. There's a lot of white in this image, but I mean, you can clearly still tell it's a black card. This card's quite easy to find on the list because again, the white light makes it stand out. I'm going to put this one in A. Duress. This art is not a great art, in my opinion, to be honest. I mean, it's alright, but I think it's been reprinted a few too many times. And in my opinion, there are better Duress arts out there. yeah, that's my opinion on this art. I'm going to chuck it in C. Eliminate. This one's got a really nice ghostly aura effect that's going through it. And I like it where it's tearing off their face. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to put this in B. Fetid Imp. This one's alright. The imp looks quite quirky and I like that. But overall not amazed by this art. I'm also going to put this in C, but it's going to go above this Duress Elf. Finishing Blow. Now this one I really like. I really like the style in this one. It's just so unique compared to so much of the art we have in Magic. In fact, it almost looks like one of those, more comic book style arts that you might get as the showcase art style for a set. Like in Ikoria they had a comic book art, or they had the constellation art in Theros. So yeah, I really like this one. This is going in S. Just, yeah, the style is amazing, and again, it's nice pale white colors on a black card, and that's not something you see all the time. This is something you see all the time, actually, and that bores me a little bit. There's often just like this dark, smoky, cloudy horror creature. It's not very interesting to look at, in my opinion. This one's going to go down in C. Gourmand. This one is also cool. I mean, it's not to say that I only like white-black cards, but it's so refreshing to see pale colors on a black card. And again, with demons, every single demon we tend to see is always black and in shadow. And this one it's so unique, and the fact that the red coats it so vibrantly, where it's covered in the blood of its victims, that's just amazing. I really like it. This one is going to go in A. Grasp of Darkness. This one's an interesting reprint. This one is really nice for its vibrant colors. Yeah, just the bright colors in the landscape. The really bold black of the effect that's happening. It's just really emphasized. Yeah, solid. This one is going to go in A as well. Grim Tutor. This one is really cool as well. They clearly wanted a good piece of art for such a sought after reprint, and they did not disappoint. I really love the effect of the blood forming the text, and I think the candles frame the book nicely, and the smoky foreground is quite nice as well. I just think, yeah, it's a really good piece of art for what it is. And this one's also going to go in A. Hooded Blightfang. This one's quite cool. The purple color is something we see quite a bit in black art nowadays. Particularly, if you think of a Liliana piece of art, a lot of her magical effects will be shown in purple. Necromantic effects are shown in purple, sometimes green. Yeah, and it's done really nicely here. I like the fade to orange and then yellow in the background. And I like the webs of saliva or venom that are coming off the Blightfang's fangs. This one's going to go in B. Infernal Scarring. This one is more on the boring side of the reprints that we have, in my opinion. I like the harsh lighting on the left shoulder. The scarring is nice, but considering it's it is the namesake of the card, it could do with a bit more emphasis. Maybe have it glowing a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty in the middle. I'm going to put this one in C. Now I'm probably going to get this name wrong, but Kaervek, the Spiteful, something like that. I like the orange / yellow crackling effect between his hands and coming from his head. We don't often see that color of energy in a black card. I think his costume's really cool as well. It's quite bird-like, and yeah, really spiny, really menacing. Can tell he's an evil character. I think this is a cool new character to take a look at. I'm going to put this one in B. Kitesail Freebooter. This one again, I think it's a bit more on the boring side of a reprint. It's not that bad the first time you see this art, but the second time it's like, could be a little bit more going on. It's a bit, yeah, just a bit on the lower end as far as not as far as technique or quality, but just as far as I think interest, in my opinion. So this one's also going to go in C. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. This one's alright. Often in Liliana arts, she will be done very well, and her background will kind of just, be second fiddle, and I think this is an example of that. I do like that it's a nice green cemetery. Often it's, very dark grey cemetery. This is a nice change to that, I think. And I think does reflect some things about her character after War of the Spark. This one I'm going to put in B. Liliana's Devotee. I really like the rightmost corpse he's summoning. I'm assuming he's summoning it. He looks really cool. He looks half possessed. His costume's quite interesting. I like the tattoos he's got on him. His costume mimics Liliana's pretty well. If you'll notice, the spirally bits around his collar mimic the spirals of her golden headpiece. So that's quite cool. And yeah, the corpse that he's summoning is really nice as well. I like all the veins on that. It's really nice and grotesque. His head's covering the moon, or like half covering the moon, and I think that's a cool angle to have. So yeah, keen on this one. This one's gonna go somewhere in A. Liliana's Standard Bearer. This one is pretty cool as well. I really like the design of the zombie horse and the skeleton riding it, or the zombie riding it. The tattered banner's really cool. I really like the tattered garment that the horse is wearing, and also the fact that there are crows pecking at, like, they're eating the rotten horse, as it's also, it's going around doing Liliana's bidding, but it's being eaten at the same time, and I think that's quite cool. This one's going to go in B, higher up on B. Liliana's Steward. This one's cool. I like the design of the mansion. Having a zombie butler, I think that's quite cool. It gives me like Addams Family vibes. I like the purple light coming from the candles that he's holding. I think this one's quite a nice flavorful art. And this one's also gonna go higher up in B. Baleful Scythe. This one is one that's done really well. Like, looking at the design of the scythe, the design of the candles, that's really nice. But I just think the concept of what's in the art can be a little bit boring, which when what you've got to go off is the fact that you're designing a scythe. I mean, it's an equipment. Often equipment arts are some of the most boring arts in Magic. The fact that they've managed to make this really still nice to look at, the candles being red and orange, that's really nice. The skulls in the background is really nice. I think for having the task of doing an equipment art for Magic, they've done a really nice job. So I'm gonna put this in A, actually. I think given what it is, like if you look through like bladed braces, short sword, things like that, they're all, really boring because they just show a piece of equipment. There's no character, there's no flavor, there's no story. Whereas this one, I think, yeah, does a really nice job. Masked Blackguard. This one's done a really nice job. This one's got like the Necromonger kind of dashing around, teleporting around a little bit. I like their mask. I like the fact that they've just dashed over a victim or a corpse. Like, it looks like they've dashed forward, stabbed them, dashed forward to us now. And I think that's quite cool. Yeah, this one's solid. This one's going to go in B. Massacre Worm. I really like this card. I'm a big fan of worms. One of the first tribal decks I built a proxy of was a worm deck. It didn't have black in it, it was mono green, but nevertheless, I'm a big fan of worms. And I really like the design of this one. I like the exoskeleton on it. I like the no eye design, the really nice protruding jaw with the teeth, and yeah, I think it's cool. This one is gonna go high end of B. Mind Rot. This one's a really cool reprint. I've liked this art for a little bit. I really like all the blots of ink on the paper, and just the painterly style of it as well. The light that's coming on them from the left is really nice. This one I actually think deserves a spot in S. Necromentia. This one I love the colours in. This one's really cool for its colours. I love the just the background, the skulls flying off in the bright greens and purples. And we've got, like, I know the same elf that's in Duress probably. That's probably not true, but that'll be my headcanon. Yeah, this one just stands out so much, and I don't think I really need to explain why. This one's also going to go in S. Peer into the Abyss. Oh look, we're getting all our S's in a row. This one's cool, just like, it's so creepy. It's so ridiculously creepy. And I think it's just done amazingly well for a black, like, this is just a quintessential black card, right? Like, you look at it and it's disturbing to look at. And it doesn't need to be gory, it doesn't need to have somebody's head getting cut off. It's just, it's creepy and weird and off-putting. And I think that's great. I think it's really nice that it's not just one face in the mouth of another face in the mouth of another face. You've also got them in the eyes. I think that's really cool. I think the far right side of the image just doesn't feel quite balanced. Like, it seems a little bit weighted to the left side. But yeah, no, this one's S as well. So yeah, look at that. Pestilent Haze. This one is cool. I like the more painterly style of it. So yeah, this one's just going to go in B. Rise Again. This one's alright. There are a lot of arts in black of a creature bursting out of a grave or bursting out of a coffin. Unsurprisingly, because black has a lot of those effects of bringing creatures out of the graveyard. But yeah, I think it's alright. It definitely... It's not as boring as some of the graveyard arts we've seen in Magic's history. Sanctum of Stonefangs. This one's cool, and I like the concept of looking through from the really dark part of the cave to the sanctum that has light shining through on it. I think that emphasizes the fact that it's a sanctum, it's a refuge, but I'd just like to see it a little bit more clearly. I think all the stalagmites and stalactites in the foreground just make it a little bit hard to digest. It's a little bit cluttered, it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, it's still pretty good. I am going to put it in C. Sanguine Indulgence. Yeah, I mean, it's the classic, I'm pretty sure these are Innistrad vampires. They always have really nice ornate clothing. Classic vampire art for black. But that doesn't make it bad. It's going to go somewhere in the middle of B. Silver Smoked Ghoul. Yeah, this one's alright. This one is more on the classic end of, like, it looks pretty similar to a lot of the zombies we've seen. This one's actually also the zombie vampire. Have we had many zombie vampires before? I'm not sure we have. I do like, he looks like he's holding a heart in his hand, possibly. That's quite cool. He's also been stabbed, I think, which would make sense with the name Silver Smoked, but I think that needs to be made a little bit more clear in the art, because if that is a bit of silver protruding from his neck, on the right of his neck, where has it been stabbed from? Has it been stabbed through from behind him? We don't see anything coming out of the other side of him, because it would be hidden by his cloak. I think maybe a different angle or a different place for him to be stabbed to make that more clear would have been nice. This one, gonna go lower end of B. Skeleton Archer. I really like the pink in this one, and yeah, a lot of the skeletons we see are pretty boring. This one's costume is really nice. Um, and yeah, I really like the tip of the arrow glowing. I like the light behind the tree. The branches on the trees are so detailed and intricate. Like, just spend a couple seconds looking at how many twigs and branches are drawn there. That's insane. Yeah, so this one's gonna go A. Tavern Swindler. This one looks alright. That's about all I have to say for it, really. It looks alright. I'm gonna put it in C. Thieves Guild Enforcer. This one's really interesting. I really like all the gold work on their arm, on their clothes, at their neck, in their headpiece. Then the lights hanging are really nice and interesting. Yeah, all the golden lamps. The skull on the left is interesting. You've got a goblet, you've got some gold, you've got the really nice ornate window in the background behind them. The light glinting off their knife. They've just cleaned, they're cleaning their knife from a kill. I think this is a really nice piece. I like the motley color effect of the splotches of red and blue and purple. Yeah, solid. Oh, I'm tempted to put this as S. I'll keep it in A for now. Oh, A. A. Village Rites. I really like this one. This one again is just like a nice, creepy piece of black art. Like, you don't need any explanation. You don't even need the title of the card. You can tell it's a cult. You can tell they're either sacrificing someone or initiating them against their will into the cult. They're all wearing very nice crimson clothes or robes, and they've all got crimson face coverings. And what I think is happening is you've got the white piece of fabric that they're holding, and you've got the bowl held by the rightmost figure. And I think that bowl is full of blood, and that they're going to do some sort of initiation ritual where they cover the face of this victim and soak it in blood or something like that. Maybe like waterboarding, but with blood. But then also with this face covering. You know, like this image just tells a story and is really cool. Like, it doesn't need to be of the crisp kind of style that some of the other arts are. I'm all for the more traditional style, and yeah, I think it's really good. This one is going to go high A as well. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. I really like the gold work in this. This is really nice. His costume's really cool. The which pieces of his costume are white and which pieces are black works really nicely. Light coming through from the side window is nice. It takes a break from all the cards that have a window right behind their head. The throne, actually it might not be a throne, it might just be an altar of some kind, in the background is really nicely done, really cool. Yeah, solid piece of art. Gonna go in A. Walking Corpse. This is another good example of the more same old kind of zombie. I mean, this art is also a reprint. Yeah, pretty average. Not D material. Or maybe D material. Yeah, we'll chuck it down a D. This art's pretty boring at this point. Witch's Cauldron. This one's gonna go in C though. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. So the other Liliana we covered is the same card. This one, actually I'm pretty sure. Yes, the other Liliana we covered is the same card. And this one is the premium version. And this one does have a really nice background, unlike the other one. The background is really intricate, really detailed, really nice and swampy. Really what you want to represent like the Cabal and where Liliana lives. The corpses on the side are nice. They're not like the focus of the piece, and I like the fact that, you know, they're just there in the bottom right and then continue down in the right border of the card. I think that's a really nice use of where this art sits in regards to the text box. Liliana herself in this one kind of looks like the same Liliana we see in everyone, but I mean, how much how unique can you make a Planeswalker look when they're showed in like 40 cards across Magic? Probably more than that. Not when I say that, not 40 Planeswalker cards, but like the character of Liliana has probably easily appeared in more than 40 pieces of art. But yeah, obviously she doesn't have 40 Planeswalker cards. But yeah, no, this one's great. I'm gonna put this one in A. Liliana Deathmage. This one's another one of the more boring Liliana pieces. Yeah, this one's got a more aggressive pose, I would say. But her left eye, our left, not her left, looks half asleep or shut almost, in my opinion. So I think that could use a little bit of work. But yeah, again, just, stock standard Liliana card, which again, they make for the Planeswalker decks, and they don't want to use the best art on those ones anyway. I'm actually going to put this one in C. Liliana's Scorn. This one's quite cool. I like the story of Liliana was probably bartering with this person, or I don't know, making some sort of deal with them, or they were pleading for their life, and she's walked away, snapped her fingers, or activated her magic, and all these corpses are now going to consume this person, and she's just turned her back to them, and I think that's quite a cool story there. Yeah, solid on this art. This one's going to go in A. Liliana's Scrounger. This one's really nice. I really like. It seems quite just peaceful, It's like it's eerily so, because obviously they're harvesting parts from corpses for Liliana, but they're just, it's a peaceful day, calm fog, calm mist over the scene. There's not exactly a battle going on, and they're just doing their job. And it seems, somehow it seems quite peaceful, and I think that's quite cool. I think the raven or crow perched on their shoulder could potentially be positioned a little bit differently, because initially I thought it was some sort of feather headpiece that was like an accessory for their hair. Maybe I'm just stupid, but that's what it looked like initially for me, but that is actually a bird. So I think maybe just positioned a little bit differently to emphasize its head. The angle that it's standing at kind of makes its head like smooth out with the curve of its body, and I think that's what disguised it for me. I'm going to put this one in B. Really filling up B this time. Once again, no Fs. I think that might change. I think I might drag Bad Deal. Bad Deal doesn't even have a creative title, does it? Oh, I've not been showing these. That's my bad. I think for the most part I've been inserting cards in this end and in the middle end, so I don't think that's been too much of an issue. Yeah, my mistake. Oh well. But yeah, Bad Deal. Very uncreative card name as well as the boring art. Last one, Spirit of Malevolence. This one's quite cool. I like the design of the spirit. Often spirits are just black or white or blue, whereas this one's got a really nice effect of like reds and purples interacting. It's a nice shattered mirror, a very malnourished person looking at themselves in the mirror. And then they've also got their shadow on the right. There's just a lot of dimensions to this card. This one's going to go in A. Cool. Well, now we get to rearrange these. We don't have a top 5. That may change, but I don't think so. I actually think I might bring Mind Rot down. I like the story in Village Rites, but I don't think it's S material. This one can go further down. This one can go further down. This one's going to go down to B. It's further up. Yeah. Yeah, all of these are pretty cool arts. I really like this A tier, but just none of them make that next jump, in my opinion. Yeah, I do still really like the A tier though for this, the black cards in this set. What have we got here? Oh, move the Death Fang up a little bit. We're actually going to move this down. Going to move this down to C, this down to C. Oh, did I mean to do that one? No, I meant to do this one. Move this down to C as well. Okay, we've kind of thinned out B a little bit. Move this here. This here, move this here. This here, move this down. Yeah, kind of being a bit more aggressive as I move back through these, putting quite a few down to D. Yeah, I think that's alright for what we've got. And then, yeah, the 1F, gonna be bad deal. It's so boring. It's just, yeah, really boring. I think that's about it. I think that's it for our black cards. So, yeah. Got some 3 really nice S's, and the A tier is all really good. Yeah, I really keen on the A tier for this one. Unfortunately, I don't. It's like if I were to bump some up to S, I'd have to bump, I think, like the top 5 or something up to S, and I don't think that's right. Yeah. So these were my rankings for the black cards of Core Set 2021. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my videos. Please tell me your favorite black arts as well in the comments below. Tell me what I got wrong, where you'd put them. Yeah, and until next time, stay safe and enjoy your games.